and welcome to The Scoop for Mason County Press. I'm Alan Neushwander. The Scoop is always brought to you by West Shore Bank and Betten Baker Ford. And speaking of West Shore Bank, we're here today with Aubrey, Healy, and Donna Yeager from the bank to talk about the Rhythm and Dunes concert series coming up starting this weekend. And thank you both for being here today. And also thank you for your sponsorship and making The Scoop a possibility every week. Without your support and obviously sponsorship, none of this would be possible. So thank you for being here and also for that.
Thank you. Yes, you're welcome.
All right, and so we've got the Rhythm and Dunes concert series coming up starting this weekend on Saturday the 24th at Waterfront Park here in Ludington. A couple of great concerts this year that you've got lined up. Before we get into the lineup for this year, let's talk a little bit about the history of this event. This has been a big deal for Ludington for a lot of years now. So Donna, why don't you get us started and tell us, how did this come to fruition and when did it begin?
Okay, sure. It started back in 2019, so this is actually our ninth time doing this. Back in 2019, we saw a need in the community on a Saturday evening. There wasn't a whole lot being offered in the area, and the Waterfront Park, a beautiful park, was not being utilized fully. So we decided to try to bring in some great music that we know attracts families. It's family-friendly, free concert, and so we decided to try it. And so this is our ninth time doing this for our community. We really want to show our appreciation to our customers, help with the economy, help the businesses downtown, and so it's been a great family fun event for us.
And it's good to have it back this year. Last year, of course, unfortunately had to be postponed due to COVID, but now that we're able to gather again and enjoy live music, it's really good to see this back. And you talk about the economic impact, and I know this event brings, thousands of people, upwards of 10,000 people to town just for these couple of concerts, and that really does have an impact locally because you've got all of the downtown businesses that are surrounding Waterfront Park and obviously the hotels. So this does more than just promote West Shore Bank. This really does provide an economic boom to the local community.
That's correct. It not only helps the businesses, it brings people, both visitors back to the area. We see a lot of families inviting people into the community, so it helps the local businesses, but then we also treat it as a fundraising opportunity for the high school music programs that are sometimes not funded fully. And so over the past few years, we've donated over $70,000 to our local music programs for our high school students. So it's always great to showcase the high school kids too.
Yep. And that's a fun thing to talk about too, because before the main concert, you also have the high school bands, the jazz bands, I think, perform ahead of the main venue. So
correct.
If you want to talk about that a little bit, sure.
Yes, well, as a former band kid, I really appreciate what Rhythm and Dunes' goal is and giving money back to the high school band programs. But our first week, so July 24th, we'll have the Ludington Jazz Ensemble, and then the second week will be Mason County Central Jazz Band.
Great.
So you'll be able to see both of those groups, just great groups of kids performing at 6 p.m. before the live main band starts. So it'll be really good, and it gives them a chance to show off all of the hard work that they've been doing, especially after a year of COVID where they didn't get to do much of what they've been training for every day. So we're really excited to show them off.
Good, and that's great to see the fine arts supported too, because I know funding for the schools have always been tough with some of those fine arts, and to get kids to, encourage kids to stay in those programs. So that's great that also raises money for that, as well as providing a fun, Saturday evening. Before we talk again about the bands that you've got coming up the next couple of weeks, you talk about the jazz bands, the jazz ensembles playing. You also got some great food vendors. It's just a party at the park all day long. So do you want to talk about what's happening between early afternoon and by the time the main venue starts?
Well, I'll let Donna talk about kind of how it goes setting up throughout the day, because it's just a huge activity for West Shore Bank employees, and we're lucky enough to have all of our employees volunteer between the 2 weeks. But food vendors start at 5 p.m. both Saturdays. We have a diverse group this year. I think we have Layla's Kettle Corn, we have an Aloha Hawaiian Shaved Ice, there will be subs and pizza and Cluck Bucket. Donna can fill in what I'm leaving out because I'm not sure, but
Yeah, we've got actually some nonprofit organizations joining us this year. So we've got the Rotary Club offering elephant ears, and the Optimists are doing their walking tacos. So we've got a nice variety starting at 5 o'clock. We know restaurants are really, going to be busy, so feel free to have another option to come down early, get your seat set up, and come and enjoy some good food, and then the music starts at 6.
Great. So let's talk about the music. So this week it starts off with the Landsharks, which is a Jimmy Buffett tribute band. So talk a little bit about what people can expect from this beach party this Saturday night.
You can expect all kinds of beach hits, not only Jimmy Buffett, Beach Boys, and much more. And then we want people to know that they should partake in the fun and dress for a beach event. So your Hawaiian shirts and flip-flops and whatever it may be that is your beach attire appropriately. Sunglasses.
Bring your beach balls to bounce around a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of fun in a beach theme, and perfect in a beach town like Ludington.
Absolutely. How long does the concert last? When it starts off at 6 o'clock is when they'll start?
So the students play for about 30 minutes, and then the main act starts at 7. And they typically play for about 90 minutes. So usually with a little break, about 9 o'clock it ends. Sometimes they go long if they really like the vibe of the crowd.
Sure.
So between 9 and 9:30.
Sure. So you got the beach party this week, and then we look ahead at next Saturday night, which is the 31st, and that's 80s Retro Night. Tell us about that band.
Yeah, so Mega 80s, they're Detroit-based. They have a strong following in Michigan. I'm sure many of you have probably seen them already. So we're excited about enjoying the sounds of the 80s, which I'm an 80s child, so it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Again, we're kind of encouraging people to dress up in that 80s garb, the neon, the big hair, all those fun things from the 80s. So, yeah.
Good. Great. Couple great bands. And it is nice, like I said, that we're able to gather again, listen to live music with COVID, but you're still following some standard safety precautions. So, with CDC guidelines, can you talk a little bit about that? I know the shuttle service this year isn't going to be offered.
That's correct. Yeah, so we're making some adjustments because we're aware that, the virus is still among us. So we're following CDC guidelines and encouraging people to make smart decisions for themselves and their family and keeping our community safe. So we have decided not to do the golf carts this year, so no shuttle service to and from the parking lots. We do offer handicap parking though in our West Shore Bank parking lot for those who might have a need, and we'll assist a little bit with unloading and loading. And then we'll be doing a lot of extra sanitizing as well. So, but if you do have health concerns, you might want to just think about whether this is the best concert to attend, because we are expecting a large crowd.
Sure. And without the shuttles, of course, probably good advice to get down here early so you can find a parking spot and get your chairs set up. How early can people start setting up at the park?
So we'll be lining the park around Friday morning around 10 o'clock or so, and then you're welcome to come and set up chairs. Okay.
And talk a little bit about what goes into the actual setup. Aubrey, I know you mentioned that it's an event that takes all day with the resources from West Shore Bank staff, but also I know the city and a lot of others get involved too. So there's probably a lot of thank yous that need to go out to a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, a bunch of people. We definitely need to thank the City of Ludington, the Ludington Police Department, the Department of Public Works, all kinds of people, not just the West Shore Bank employees, but so many community members go into this. Rob, Mason County Press, all of the radio stations and newspapers and chambers that help us get the word out. So this is definitely a big community event that takes all hands in the community to put on.
Perfect, great. Anything else either of you want to add that maybe we've missed?
The only thing I would say is this is a rain or shine event, so even if it's drizzling throughout the day or even in the concert, we're still going to go forward and enjoy the great music, so come out whether it's rain or shine. You've got something?
We need to thank Red Hat Security as well. Thank you, Travis. We don't want to forget you.
Yes. Yeah, and just a reminder that you can bring coolers into the park, but please just plastic, no glass, and we will have some plastic cups available for anyone, but just a reminder of that. No tents that are allowed in the park, just for viewing pleasure.
Right, and then no liquor too, I believe. There's some alcohol restrictions.
It's just beer and wine.
Yep. Okay, good. Great. Well, we got a couple great concerts coming up. Kicks off this Saturday with the Landsharks Beach Party, and then again next Saturday night with 80s Retro Night. So I think everybody's looking forward to it. We're just super excited to have live entertainment again and gathering here in downtown Ludington.
We're so excited that we're able to have them this year. We waited to the last minute, really, to decide whether we could do this, and we're excited that we have been able to.
Right, yep, and thanks to West Shore Bank for putting all of this together and supporting the community like you always do.
Thank you to Mason County Press and
Yep,
you,
you're welcome.
Alan, and we appreciate all your support throughout the years.
Great, all right. So the Rhythm and Dunes concert series kicks off this Saturday night, Waterfront Park, downtown Ludington, with the Landsharks band, then 80s Retro Night next week on the 31st, so we hope to see you all down there. For Mason County Press's The Scoop, I'm Alan Neushwander. We'll see you next time.